There are places on this planet that look less like geography and more like memory, dream, or myth. In this episode, we begin in lands shaped by fire, drift through waters filled with silent life, cross deserts painted in impossible color, and descend into worlds that seem hidden from ordinary time. Some of these places glow, some move, some feel untouched by human history. And some are so strange, so visually unreal, that even standing there would not fully convince you they exist. But this journey is about more than beauty. It is about seeing how wildly creative Earth can be when no one is looking. And before this episode ends, you will witness one place that may change the way you think about the natural world forever. Stay with us, because the farther we go, the less this planet feels familiar. Hawaii is a volcanic archipelago in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, located more than 3,700 kilometers from the mainland United States and known as one of the most diverse ecosystems on Earth. The islands were formed by powerful eruptions rising from the ocean floor over millions of years, slowly building massive volcanoes such as Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa. On a single island, visitors can discover black sand beaches, tropical rainforests, waterfalls hundreds of meters tall, and young lava fields shaped by recent eruptions. Ancient Polynesian culture is still alive through hula dances, flower lays, and stories about the volcano goddess Pele. Big Island, also known as Hawaii Island, is the largest island in the Hawaiian archipelago, covering more than 10,400 square kilometers, almost twice the combined size of all the other islands. The island is famous for its dramatic volcanic landscapes shaped by the massive volcanoes Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea. Mauna Kea rises over 4,200 meters above sea level and is considered one of the best astronomical observation sites on Earth. In a single day, visitors can travel from black sand beaches through tropical rainforests to vast fields of hardened lava. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park allows travelers to witness glowing lava slowly flowing toward the Pacific Ocean. Potash evaporation pools, near the town of Moab in Utah, form one of the most unusual man-made landscapes visible from the sky in the United States. These enormous rectangular ponds were built to extract potash from briny water pumped from deep underground beneath the Colorado Desert. As the water slowly evaporates under the intense desert sun, minerals begin to crystallize and change the color of the ponds. Depending on the mineral concentration and evaporation stage, the water shifts from turquoise and deep blue to vivid shades of red and orange. Utah Desert stretches across the American Southwest and is famous for its vast landscapes of red rock reaching far toward the horizon. Over millions of years, wind and water slowly carved layers of sandstone into Arches deep canyons and towering rock formations of unusual shapes. National parks, such as Arches Canyonlands and Capitol Reef, make this region one of the most spectacular landscapes in North America. At sunrise, light touches the cliffs and transforms the desert into glowing shades of orange and crimson. During the day, the immense silence and open space give visitors a powerful sense of scale and solitude. The Utah Desert therefore feels like a vast natural stage, where light, stone, and time quietly tell the story of the Earth. Jellyfish Lake on Isle Malk Island in Palau's Rock Islands is considered one of the most unusual marine environments on Earth. The lake has been isolated from the open ocean for thousands of years, allowing a unique ecosystem to evolve within its quiet waters. Millions of golden jellyfish live here and have gradually lost most of their sting as they adapted to a closed environment without predators. Every day, these jellyfish move slowly across the lake, following the path of the sun, to nourish the symbiotic algae living inside their bodies. From beneath the surface, the scene resembles a living sky filled with thousands of drifting translucent creatures. Many swimmers describe the experience as floating inside a silent biological universe where everything moves with calm rhythm. If you had the chance to swim among millions of jellyfish like this, would your first feeling be wonder, serenity, or something entirely new you have never felt before? Rock Islands is an archipelago of more than 300 small limestone islands scattered across the turquoise waters of the Pacific Ocean in Palau. From above, the forest-covered islands rise like emerald jewels floating on the clear blue sea. Over millions of years, rain and ocean currents carved the limestone into steep cliffs and rounded island shapes. Between the islands lie calm lagoons, where the water is so clear that coral reefs and fish can be seen from a passing boat. Many areas remain almost untouched, where nature continues to thrive with very little human presence. When sunlight reflects on the turquoise water, the entire archipelago looks like a living natural painting. Rock Islands is therefore often considered one of the most breathtaking and pristine ocean landscapes left on Earth. Yongning Castle is an ancient walled town in northern China, where centuries of history still echo through narrow streets and stone gates. The town was originally built during the Ming Dynasty as a military fortress protecting the northern frontier of the empire. Thick stone walls, ancient gates, and watchtowers have endured centuries of wind sand and shifting dynasties. Inside the walls, narrow stone lanes weave through rows of traditional houses with grey tiled roofs. Daily life moves quietly as small shops, local markets, and family homes continue long-standing routines. When morning mist drifts along the old city walls, the town takes on a calm and timeless atmosphere. Yongning Castle feels like a cinematic frame where the past and the present quietly coexist. In northern China, landscapes unfold on a scale that can feel almost impossible to grasp at first sight. Endless grasslands shaped by strong winds stretch toward dry mountain ranges and distant deserts. For thousands of years, these lands served as corridors where merchants, warriors, and travelers moved between East Asia and Central Asia. Sections of the Great Wall still trace the ridgelines like a monumental scar left by history. In autumn, cold winds from the Mongolian plateau bring crystal-clear skies and golden light across the plains. From above, rivers, valleys, and mountains form vast patterns that resemble a living geographic map. Northern China therefore feels less like a single region and more like a grand stage where nature and history have been unfolding for centuries. Guizhou Province in southwestern China is a landscape where limestone mountains, deep valleys, and ancient villages create one of the most distinctive natural scenes in Asia. The rugged terrain is shaped by thousands of steep hills that historically isolated many ethnic communities for centuries. Terraced rice fields curve along the mountainsides and shine like mirrors when the seasonal waters arrive. In the valleys, wooden villages of the Miao and Dong people still preserve traditional architecture with dark roofs and old wooden bridges. Daily life moves quietly through local markets, seasonal festivals, and customs passed down through generations. If you were standing among those terraces and drifting mountain clouds at dawn, would you feel the peace of the landscape or the awe of its vast beauty more strongly? Argan Tree Forest in southwestern Morocco offers one of the most unusual sights travelers encounter in North Africa. Goats often climb into the branches of argan trees to reach the small fruit growing above the dry ground. Watching several animals carefully balancing on twisted branches creates a scene that feels both amusing and astonishing. Argan trees have thick, contorted trunks shaped by decades of desert winds and harsh climate. These resilient trees support the local ecosystem and produce the famous argan oil, widely used in cooking and cosmetics. As the afternoon sun filters through sparse leaves, the landscape glows with the warm tones of the Moroccan countryside. Argan Tree Forest therefore reveals a rare moment where wildlife behavior, local culture, and desert ecology meet in a single landscape. Southwestern Morocco is a region where desert plains, rocky mountains, and unexpected green oases coexist across a vast North African landscape. Along dry valleys, Berber villages built from reddish earth appear to merge naturally with the surrounding hills and sand. Tall palm trees rise from oasis gardens, forming vivid green ribbons across the sunlit terrain. Warm desert winds often sweep across the plateaus, carrying fine dust that drifts softly over the ground. By late afternoon, angled sunlight brushes the clay walls and fills entire villages with a warm amber glow. Ancient caravan routes once crossed this land, linking sub-Saharan Africa with trading cities farther north. Southwestern Morocco, therefore, feels like a landscape shaped by journeys where each valley and oasis quietly echoes stories of desert travelers. Waitomo in New Zealand is a quiet rural landscape where gentle green hills roll across the land like waves frozen in motion. Wide pastures stretch across the valleys, dotted with sheep, grazing slowly beneath an open sky. Narrow country roads weave between farms and tree lines, guiding travelers deeper into the calm scenery of the Waikato region. In the distance, grassy ridges rise and fall, while shifting clouds paint moving patterns of light and shadow. Life in Waitomo moves at an unhurried rhythm, shaped more by nature than by time. Small streams wind through the fields, reflecting the soft glow of an afternoon, slowly settling over the countryside. If you were standing among these peaceful hills, how long would you pause just to take in the quiet around you? Brazil coast. Brazil stretches for thousands of kilometers along the Atlantic Ocean, where deep blue water meets long ribbons of pale sand. Waves roll steadily toward the shore, creating a natural rhythm that has shaped the coastline for centuries. Cliffs, tropical forests, and wide beaches appear one after another along the shoreline like an ever-changing landscape. Tropical sunlight touches the ocean surface and reveals layers of vivid turquoise and deep blue. From above, the beaches curve gently along the coast, forming elegant shapes against the sea. The sound of waves, sea breeze, and the salty air together create a sense of freedom often associated with Brazil's coastline. Brazil coast reveals a vast ocean horizon where nature and coastal life move together in a vibrant rhythm. Sardine Run. South Africa is one of the most dramatic natural events in the ocean, when billions of sardines migrate along the eastern coastline of South Africa. Each year during the southern winter, enormous schools of fish form long silver ribbons beneath the deep blue water. Dolphins, sharks, whales, and thousands of seabirds gather quickly, turning the migration into one of the largest feeding frenzies in the marine world. The sardines are often compressed into swirling bait balls that flash like silver clouds underwater. From above, the ocean seems alive with spinning patterns of movement and light. Waves, diving birds, and rushing predators combine to create an atmosphere full of raw energy. Sardine Run, South Africa, reveals one of the most powerful spectacles of life within the open ocean. Eastern Coast, South Africa, stretches along the Indian Ocean with wide beaches, rugged cliffs, and deep blue waters constantly in motion. Powerful ocean waves roll toward the shore and create a steady rhythm that defines this coastline. Rocky headlands extend into the sea, forming dramatic shapes that become striking when viewed from above. Long stretches of golden sand lie between the cliffs, while sea winds carry the salty scent of the ocean inland. Late afternoon sunlight reflects across the surface of the sea and turns the waves into shimmering bands of silver. Eastern Coast, South Africa, appears as a vibrant meeting point where land and ocean interact in continuous movement. Buffalo Fighting Arena in Guizhou Province, China, is the setting for one of the most unique traditional festivals practiced by ethnic communities in the mountainous south of the country. Rather than a modern stadium, the arena is often an open field, surrounded by green hills and rural villages. During major festivals, villagers bring their strongest buffalo to compete in a contest of strength. Two powerful bulls enter the ring and push against each other while crowds gather around the field. The sound of drums, cheering voices, and festive music fills the valley with energy. For local communities, the event represents courage, pride, and the honor of their village. Buffalo Fighting Arena therefore reveals an important cultural tradition where animals, people, and heritage remain closely connected. Gar Temple stands in a remote mountainous region of western China, where Tibetan Buddhist monasteries quietly exist beneath vast skies and cold mountain winds. The temple is built along a high slope, overlooking a wide valley where clouds often drift across the dark red roofs of the monastery buildings. For centuries, it has been a pilgrimage destination for monks and travelers seeking spiritual calm. Inside the temple halls, the soft glow of yak butter lamps reflects on ancient Thangka paintings and carefully carved Buddha statues. The deep rhythm of chanting blends with the wind moving through colorful prayer flags. From the temple courtyard, distant mountain ridges stretch toward the horizon like waves of stone. Gar Temple therefore feels like a meeting point between the power of nature and the human search for inner peace. Qinghai Province lies on the vast Tibetan plateau in western China, where the sky appears wider and the land stretches endlessly toward the horizon. The region is best known for Qinghai Lake, the largest saltwater lake in China, glowing with deep cobalt blue under the highland sun. Around the lake, open grasslands allow herds of yaks and sheep to move slowly through the cold plateau winds. In summer, fields of bright yellow rapeseed flowers bloom along the shoreline, creating a striking contrast against the blue water. The air is so clear that drifting clouds often seem to float close to the earth. At sunset, golden light spreads across the lake and transforms the entire landscape into a vast natural painting. Qinghai Province therefore feels like a quiet highland world where nature reveals both grandeur and serenity. Ice volcano. Kazakhstan forms during the deep winter months when groundwater or lake water is forced upward through frozen ground and instantly freezes in the open air. Over time, repeated bursts of water create layers of ice that slowly build into cone-shaped towers resembling miniature volcanoes. Under sunlight, the frozen structure glows with pale blue reflections across its crystalline surface. Unlike real volcanoes, there is no lava or smoke, only cold water and freezing wind shaping the structure. thin layers of ice stack, gradually recording each moment of winter's quiet activity. Standing across the silent Kazakh steppe, these icy formations appear both delicate and surprisingly powerful. Lake Hillier, Australia, is a remarkable pink lake located on Middle Island off the southern coast of Western Australia. From above, the lake appears as a vivid pastel pink ribbon, resting beside the deep blue waters of the ocean. One of the most fascinating details is that the pink color remains even when the water is removed from the lake. Scientists believe the color comes from unique microorganisms and algae that thrive in the salty environment. Surrounding Lake Hillier are dense green forests and pale sandy shores that create a striking contrast of colors from the air. When sunlight touches the surface, the lake glows with a soft pink tone that stands out vividly within the natural landscape. Western Australia. Australia stretches across vast, wild landscapes where ocean desert and ancient forests coexist within a dramatic natural setting. Along the western coastline, red cliffs and pale beaches meet the deep blue waters of the Indian Ocean in powerful rolling waves. Farther inland, open deserts unfold with soft golden dunes reaching toward distant horizons. In the late afternoon, low sunlight washes the land and sky in warm tones of amber and gold. Seabirds glide above the coastline, while ocean winds carry the salty scent of the sea across the land. From above, Western Australia appears like a massive natural canvas where colours of earth, water, and sky blend together. Western Australia, Australia reveals a landscape of remarkable scale where wilderness still shapes the rhythm of the land. Mount Zhao. Japan is a volcanic mountain range in the Tohoku region, where winter transforms the landscape into one of the most unusual natural scenes in the country. During the coldest months, strong winds from Siberia carry moist air from the sea that freezes onto the fir trees, covering the mountain slopes. Over time, layers of snow and ice accumulate and reshape the trees into towering figures known as snow monsters. From a distance, The mountainside appears filled with thousands of frozen shapes standing silently in the winter wind. When sunlight breaks through the cold mist, the ice reflects a soft glow across the white landscape. Ropeways glide above the slopes, giving visitors a sweeping view of this surreal winter world. Mount Zhao, Japan, reveals how extreme weather can sculpt an extraordinary frozen landscape high in the mountains. Yamagata Mountains. Japan's stretch across the Tohoku region with deep green ridges, where ancient forests, clear streams, and drifting morning mist blend into a quiet mountain landscape. In spring, melting snow flows down from the peaks and feeds small rivers winding through the valleys. Summer brings thick woodland canopies and cool mountain air, while autumn paints the slopes with vivid shades of red and gold. When gentle winds pass through the trees, the forest seems to sway with a slow, natural rhythm. From elevated trails, the view unfolds into layers of mountains, fading gradually toward the horizon. Late sunlight slides across the ridges and creates alternating patterns of shadow and glow. Yamagata Mountains. Japan offer a tranquil scene where enduring landscapes continue to shape life in the mountains. Molnar János Cave. Hungary lies hidden beneath the city of Budapest, where an underwater cave system forms a mysterious world far removed from the streets above. Unlike many ordinary caves, this cave was shaped by warm, mineral-rich thermal water, slowly flowing through limestone over hundreds of thousands of years. These quiet currents gradually carved wide chambers and long underwater corridors beneath the city. When divers shine their lights through the clear water, the cave walls appear in soft golden tones, with rippled textures created by mineral deposits. The atmosphere inside feels calm, yet enigmatic, as if time moves differently in this silent underground environment. For cave divers and researchers, the site is considered one of the most remarkable thermal cave systems in Europe. Molnar János Cave, Hungary, reveals how hidden geological forces can sculpt an extraordinary landscape beneath a modern city. Budapest, Hungary stands along the majestic Danube River, where the historic districts of Buda and Pest are connected by elegant stone bridges. The city is renowned not only for its grand architecture, but also for its thermal baths fed by natural mineral springs deep beneath the ground. As dawn slowly spreads across the river domes and historic buildings begin to glow under a warm golden light. Along the riverbanks, cobbled streets and quiet cafes create a rhythm of life that feels both relaxed and refined. When night falls, thousands of lights reflect on the Danube and transform the entire city into a shimmering panorama. Budapest, Hungary, therefore feels like a place where history, culture, and landscape blend seamlessly into one living scene. If you were standing on the Chain Bridge at sunset, watching the light fade over the Danube, what emotion do you think would appear first? Mount Nyiragongo, DR Congo, rises within the volcanic chain of the East African Rift, where one of the world's largest lava lakes constantly churns inside its crater. From a distance, the mountain appears calm, yet beneath its surface, molten magma continues to move with relentless energy. After sunset, the glowing red light of the lava lake reflects against dark volcanic walls and illuminates the night sky. Streams of molten rock swirl slowly like a vast ocean of fire, breathing beneath the African horizon. Standing at the crater rim, visitors can feel waves of heat, rising along with a deep rumble from the earth below. Mount Nyiragongo, DR Congo, is therefore considered one of the rare places on Earth where people can witness the living pulse of an active volcano. In front of such a spectacle, many begin to wonder whether they are observing destruction or the powerful process through which our planet continually reshapes itself. Northern Australia. Australia stretches across vast wilderness, where nature still follows rhythms shaped over millions of years. Tropical grasslands, open savannas, and seasonal wetlands form one of the most diverse ecosystems on the continent. During the wet season, powerful monsoon storms sweep across the landscape and transform quiet riverbeds into fast-moving waterways. When the dry season arrives, the earth reveals the deep red tones of the outback under an intense southern sun. Above the wide skies, flocks of migrating birds move across the horizon, while wildlife below continues its timeless cycles of survival. Northern Australia unfolds like a grand natural canvas where human presence feels remarkably small. In this immense landscape, visitors often rediscover a quiet sense of respect for the enduring power of the natural world. Temple of Dendera. Egypt stands quietly along the Nile as a witness to more than 2,000 years of history, where every stone still carries the imprint of an ancient civilization. Built mainly during the Ptolemaic period, the temple is renowned for its intricate zodiac ceiling, considered among the most remarkable ever preserved. Inside, soft light filters through massive columns covered in carvings that narrate rituals dedicated to the goddess Hathor. The dense symbolism creates a sensation of entering a realm where mythology and early science once intertwined. Each carving remains astonishingly detailed after millennia, raising questions about the advanced knowledge behind its creation. Temple of Dendera. Egypt is not just architecture, but a living record of human belief and understanding across time. If you could stand here 10 years from now, whose hand would you hope to be holding in this timeless space? Cabal Speen, Cambodia, lies hidden within the dense forests of Phnom Kulen, where an ancient river flows across stones carved more than 1,000 years ago. Known as the River of 1,000 Lingams, it preserves hundreds of Shiva Lingam symbols sculpted directly into the riverbed. As water flows over these carvings, it was once believed to become sacred before reaching the Angkor temples. Sunlight filters through thick foliage, casting shifting patterns across the water and creating an atmosphere both mystical and alive. The gentle sound of flowing water blends with the scent of damp earth and forest, separating visitors from the modern world. Cabal Speen, Cambodia, becomes more than an archaeological site, revealing a deep connection between belief, nature, and time. Do not come here if you only seek surface beauty, as this place quietly calls those willing to listen to its hidden depth.